Hey guys, this is Shiny Zekrom and welcome to a new series of videos. You may have recalled that a little while ago I was doing SBL or Spriter Battle League videos on the channel. However, they kind of stopped randomly. Now, that was because the season kind of died out. However, we're back in business and we are doing a Season 3. Now, to give a brief overview, this season will include everything up to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, meaning any of the Move Tutor moves that Pokemon got through Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, those are allowed in this, so pretty much everything, except for, you know, banned Pokemon and whatnot. And we did ban like certain things, such as Uranium Z, but I'll talk about those soon. Okay, so let's get going. So the first thing to talk about really is the overview of the league. We have, as you can see, between the Time and Space Division, 6 teams in each, so we have a total of 12 teams in this league. The Arctic Arcanines, coached by Arctis. We have Exurban Espeons, coached by Pivot. Vengeful Volbeats, coached by Lux Luxray. Diancie United, coached by Burn and 8 or 9 or Burn. Philadelphia Tyrannotars, coached by Omega/Omega Crafter 17. Vehement Vagabonds, coached by Alio, and that is for the Time Division. In the Space Division, we have the Akat Autists, coached by Akat, the Florida Flygons, coached by yours truly, Zappe/Shiny Zekrom. We have the Nido Kaiser Inferno, coached by Iron. We have Volcaronis from Vegas, coached by Blair. We have the Victory Stars, coached by Yashu, and the Radical Raichus, coached by Angel. Now, the MVP race and the playoff rankings, obviously, because this is going to be a draft/schedule team preview kind of thing, these two aren't going to matter until much later in the season, so don't even worry about those. Our new logo that you see here, that was made by Yashu, credited to Yashu, because it's a really nice looking logo. I like it a lot. Now, over here, just as one little more brief thing to talk about, as you see over here are the average team base stats. So, the average of like all the HP of all the Pokemon between each team is here, and all averaged out up to the average you see over here. Now, as you do see, as a little preview, my team has the highest average team base stats of any team, but not by much, because the person after me, Alio, coach of the Behemoth Vagabonds there, is only 0.48 average base stat points behind me. So, that's to give a little bit of a overview. Now, there's also like stuff like the extended stats, so how many games participated, kills and deaths for all the Pokemon, the tiers in the draft we did. I'm going to skip all that. Now, the schedule. I was planning to include this tab separate, however, each one of the teams has their own schedule right in their team page, so we're just going to get started. So, first up is the Arctic Arcanines, coached by Arctis himself. Now, his team can be pretty scary. I'm going to briefly, as I talk and go through each team page, I'm going to briefly talk about the Pokemon, how good they can be, what their kind of role and purpose is, and what they can do and whatnot. So, it's just to give you guys kind of a little overview as to what their team is. So, Arc's schedule, I guess, to go quick, is he faces, in order, the Akat Autists, Diancie United, Volcaronis from Vegas, the Florida Flygons, Nido Kaiser Inferno, Behemoth Vagabonds, Victory Stars, Philadelphia Tyrannotars, Exurban Espeons, Vengeful Volbeats, and the Radical Raichus. Each page will have also transactions, so throughout the season, what week they go effective, what Pokemon goes out, what comes in, and stuff. So, their roster for Arc, let's get started. You also see, real quick, you also see down here the average team stats. I'm not going to really talk about that much unless it matters to that Pokemon or something needs to be brought up, etc., etc. So, you also get to see later on all the abilities of his team. So let's get talking to it. First, one of his first picks was Landorus Incarnate. Now, We did ban Sheer Force Landorus Incarnate. However, Sand Force is allowed to be used, so that will have to be the ability of Landorus Incarnate in every battle, just so everybody knows. So Landorus Incarnate, it's a real powerful mon. Just the attack stat's really good at a base 125, really speedy. You can even run special Landorus Incarnate because a base 115 special attack is nothing to really laugh about. And pretty reasonable bulk at 90 and 80 defenses respectively with 89 HP. Real good mon overall in the ground flying type. Now Ferrothorn. Everyone knows Ferrothorn. A very, very tanky grass steel type that leech seeds and stealth rocks and has a very powerful gyro ball because of the really low base speed. However, it's really bulky in its defenses and can still hit pretty hard with a 94 base attack, mainly known as kind of being a wall. Arcanine next up is a pretty good mon too overall. Pure Fire type, however both of its attacking stats at 110 and 100 respectively are nothing to mess around with because you don't know if it goes physical, you don't know if it goes special. With Arcanine, you don't know if it might be running Flash Fire, you don't know if it's running Intimidate. Intimidate, you know, being the better of the abilities, and Intimidate's always nice to have because opponents can have, you know, physical attackers and whatnot. So, that's that. Umbreon, everyone knows this one as well, being a very good, especially and physically bulky mon with not very great attacking stats or speed, and a pretty decent HP stat. Pretty much known for wishing and baton passing, and overall just being, you know, a stally little Pokemon. Magneton, it can be very good because if you give it Eviolate, it has very good defenses. Namely its physical defense because of the base 95 plus Eviolate boost. Sets you up real good to be tanky, and 70 base defense isn't really that bad either. And with Eviolate that gets, you know, boosted as well, so it can become a pretty good tank overall with that Eviolite, and 120 base special attack is nothing to laugh about either for a not fully evolved Pokemon. That can hit real hard. Xatu, mainly known for magic bounce. Being able to bounce back some of the things you see, like the spikes and the stealth rocks and any like status moves and whatnot. That's mainly what Xatu's there for. And it can also hit pretty hard with its base 95 special attack, and it's pretty fast with 95 base speed. However, most of its other stats are pretty lackluster. But like I said, mostly known for magic bounce and being able to bounce back things at the opponent. Now the scary part, Mega Gyarados. Really powerful in its physical attack. Pretty decent defenses with 130 and 109 respectively. And 95 base HP. But then the speed being only base 81 is kind of a little lackluster. But still, it's nothing to laugh about with a 155 base attack. Now, quick rule of thumb about Megas, you don't have to Mega Evolve during the battle. The requirement is that you at least hold the stone, and you can also wait a few turns as well to be able to Mega Evolve. So if you get like a Moxie boost with Gyarados and then you want to Mega Evolve, that's perfectly fine. Just so you know how it goes throughout the season. Now we move on to Flinch Hacks itself, Togekiss. Mainly known for Thunder Waving and Air Slash, as well as being able to set up Nasty Plot and overall just being a general nuisance. Base 120 special attack with base 115 special defense and 95 defense. Pretty bulky, and it's still quite fast with 80 base as well as 85 base HP. Not too bad. Latios. This is his Z user. Everyone except one team has a Z captain / Z user. Omni boosts and some moves are banned, such as the Millennium Z and whatnot. So, otherwise, status Z moves are allowed, just like I said, no Omni Boost and no Millennium Z, etc. So, anything else is otherwise fair game. Now, Latios is known for being a very hard-hitting special attacker that can also be pretty especially defensively bulky, and yeah, known for just pretty much hitting hard. Also has access to be able to defog hazards away, excuse me, I couldn't think of it. I believe Zaku does as well, same with Togekiss. So, pretty good option overall. Combustion, this is basically known for speed boost and pretty much Eviolite as well. It's got alright stats for its special attack and attack, but otherwise everything else is pretty lackluster. So, if you pretty much don't run Eviolite, Combustion just kind of there and gets destroyed. Registeel, good mon overall with 150 bases in both of its defenses. And then 80 HP and nothing else besides the defenses are real great. But this is a good Pokemon because you're able to set up Stealth Rocks, you can Thunder Wave, you can Toxic. You know, a couple different options that you have there. And if you want to see abilities for the mons, they're right over here. So, yeah, alright. And with that, we're going to move on to the next team. The Exurban Espeons, coached by Pivot. Now, quick thing I wanted to say about each one of the teams is I also will have a link to all of the competitors, whether it be their DeviantArt or YouTube. That was the two main teams I got on Gaming. Except one person whom, if they do happen to give me a DeviantArt, YouTube, or something like that link, I will add that throughout the season. Anyways, moving on to the Exurban Espeons, coached by Pivot. We have their schedule over here. I'm not going to go through everyone. I was just kind of going through one, I guess, as an example. Except for when we get to my team, I will be going over that. So, starting off, we have Dragonite. Dragonite mainly known for its multi-scale bulk at full HP and being able to Dragon Dance, Roost, and with its priority extreme speed, it is known to be a hard-hitting physical mon. Pretty decent special defense to defense and HP. Its special attack can still be pretty usable too as well. And its speed is only the real lackluster thing, but when it Dragon Dance, it pretty much gets rid of that right out the gate. So pretty strong mon overall, something to definitely watch out for. We have next, Melodic. Melodic used to be one of the trademark picks of my team, however, I didn't pick it this time, obviously. So, Melodic known for basically being a specially defensive bulky mon that can also be run defensively with Bold Nature, and a nice base 100 special attack and 95 HP. Melodic mostly known for the Marvel Scale ability, being able to, if status, get a defensive boost, or get its defenses boosted up, and be able to tank a lot better. Pair that up with like Bold Nature, you can have a pretty tanky Melodic even without going especially defensive investing, just go Bold. So, pretty good option there. Known for Recover, it can run multitude of hidden powers, Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, pretty much some of the main gimmicks of Melodic, but also being able to run like Dragon Tail to be able to switch out your opponent's Pokemon, etc, etc. And what would it be without each team pretty much picking their mascot, most teams did, with Espeon. Espeon known for its very high special attack stat of 130 and its base speed of 110, and a pretty decent, especially defensive stat of 95, and then all the rest of its other stats of HP, attack, and defense are kind of lackluster. But it's known for pretty much being there, hitting hard, and it's also known for possibly having Magic Bounce, another one of those mons that we kind of saw like Zatu, where it can bounce back those Stealth Rocks, those Spikes, Taunt, Torment, whatever you really want to do. If you see an Espeon on the team, I wouldn't go for that right away and maybe be safe because of the Magic Bounce. Next up is Venomoth. Now, you may say, oh, Venomoth kind of sucks. Ugh. It can, but its special attack of base 90 with a base 90 speed, and one of its abilities being Tinted Lens, where, you know, not very effective attacks get a percentage boost in power. Pair that up with Venomoth, and it being able to Quiver Dance, that could be something really scary. It's nothing to kind of take lightly, because it could be that mon that just happens to set up and sweep on it. You never know. Also having Shield Dust and Wonder Skin as its other abilities, but mainly you'll see Tinted Lens and probably Quiver Dance Venomoth. Can wreck teams. Cinccino, mainly known for Skilling. Very fast with a base 115 speed and 95 attack stat. with all of its other stats kind of being pretty lackluster, except for a decent base 75 speed. Mainly known for running things with skilling such as Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Tail Slap, you know, those kind of 9-yard moves, but it can still hit pretty hard even without going skilling strictly. Okay, next up is Liepard. Now, Liepard's another one of those, it's kind of an Pokemon, but does have a couple decent abilities that it can run, such as Unburden, where if it uses its item it can double its speed. And Liepard's speed of base 106 is not that bad, and with 88 in both of its attacking stats, it can be run either way, a Dark Pulse or a Sucker Punch. You never know what you might see. It also has access to Prankster, and it also can get Thunder Wave, so Liepard could be kind of a little hacksy Pokemon, just because of that Prankster ability. You never know when it's going to come. And another Magic Bounce user in Absol. Mega Absol to be exact. Mega Absol is nothing to kind of laugh at. This Pokemon, if you've watched the NTA with A-Drive, he made this thing an absolute monster and was a contender for MVP in the league. Base 150 special, or base 150 attack, base 115 special attack, base 115 speed. Fast, hard hitting, can kill you. Sucker Punch, Pursuit, Fire Blast, Ice Beam, that is a multitude of different moves to be able to take both its special attack and attack into play, as well as being able to regularly get like Super Luck ability and whatnot and pressure. But this one I would Mega Evolve right away because it's powerful and it's going to hit you hard if you're not prepared. And we all know the Serene Grace Thunder Waving Haxor Jirachi with base 100 around the board for its stats. Can be run in multitude of different ways, being defensive tank, special defensive tank, special attacker, physical attacker. It can, you know, hack you with the Iron Head Thunder Wave or anything like that. It's just known for being a very annoying Pokemon thanks to its Serene Grace ability. Mesprit, you may think is just kind of what? But Mesprit's also one of those ones where you might not know what it might run. I mean, it's got 4 stats with base 105 being attack, defense, special attack, and special defense. Pretty well rounded except for its 80 in HP and speed. Still, mainly known as like a special attacking kind of Pokemon. Not too great because there's much other better things, especially because it's only base 80. Quite a few things outspeed it, like even Melodic outspeeds it, for example. Still. Then we have Torkoal, mainly picked as kind of a Pokemon to be able to run Drought that could stop other weather abilities of other Pokemon. And with that 140 base defense, that's nothing to laugh about. That is a physically defensive monster. Now, it's got like 85 in both its special attack and attack, and the rest of its stats are really lackluster, especially being base 20 speed. It pretty much is there to kind of set up Drought, and it's pretty much that, and a Stealth Rock user gives you an option for Rapid Spin. Mainly known just to be a kind of a defensive tank. Now Meloetta, this is the Z user for Pivot. Meloetta has a very nice base 128 special attack and base 128 speed. There's special defense with 90 base speed, 100 HP, and okay attack and defense at 770. Meloetta is known for hitting you really hard special attack, and that if you are not prepared for this thing, it's going to hit you hard. And it's strong. 128 base special attack is nothing to laugh about at all. And if you want to see abilities of everything, and Meloetta getting Serene Grace, that can also be pretty helpful for it. Here's the abilities of the team real quick. And we are going to move on to the third of the teams, the Vengeful Volbeats, Coach Lux. So you can see the schedule up there real quick, but we're going to hop right into things. Keldeo. Now, Keldeo might not be known as one of the greatest Pokemon, but it can still pack a freaking punch. You have base 129 special attack, so even more than what we just saw. Base 129 special attack with 108 speed, 90 in both of its defenses, and 91 HP. That is a hard-hitting Pokemon. You give it that Surf, you give it Sacred Sword, that thing could murder you in just seconds. You never know. Next up is Kingdra. Now, Kingdra is can be all around. As you can see, it has 4 stats with base 95, base 85 speed, and 75 attack, or HP, excuse me. It can be run physically with a Dragon Dance. You could set it up with like a Rain Dance, Swift Swim. You can go Sniper Scope Lens, critting all day long. Kingdra has a multitude of options to be able to run it. You never know what's going to be run, so you got to be prepared. Next up is Salazzle. Mainly known for just being a special attacker that is very fast. Base 111 special attack, base 117 speed. Pretty much all Salazzle is known for, just that. Has options to like Nasty Plot and wide move sets, such as like Dragon Pulse, Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower, etc. It can be a hard hitter if you're not prepared, but it's kind of easy and mostly has to run Focus Sash to be able to do pretty much anything. Alolan Ninetales. This one known for being basically just a little bit of a specially defensive tank with a base 100 and 109 speed. Otherwise, the rest of its stats are like 81 special attack and all the rest are pretty mediocre. However, this thing can still hit pretty hard and be able to set up Aurora Veil with a free Snow Warning ability that it has with its hidden ability. It also has Snow Cloak, but you're almost always going to run Snow Warning. That can help control weather very, very much with other things such as the Drought Torkoal that we just went through with the last team. And like I said, with the Aurora Veil option, it can make the rest of your team tanky and be very, very hard to take down. Next up is Virizion. 129 special defense, 108 speed, 91 HP, 90 attack, 90 special attack. All really good stats. Also has that Sword Stance option. And also has option to Calm Mind. So you never know if this thing's going to be run physically, you don't know if it's going to be run specially. And it's also really, really fast and has some nice specially defensive bulk to it. So you're not prepared, that Virizion could be a very, very, very hard wall breaker right there. Next up is Leavanny. 103 base attack, 92 speed, and the rest mediocre. It's pretty much mostly what Leavanny's known for. Just a hard-hitting physical attacker that's kind of fast, be able to set up the sticky webs to be able to slow your opponents down a little bit. And that's pretty much it. It does have option to Swords Dance, so it does have option to Sweep. But other than like either Swords Dance or Sticky Web, those are pretty much the 2 main ways Leavanny's run. Now the next Pokemon is nothing to laugh about. Mega Beedrill can end lives if you are not prepared. 150 base attack with 145 base speed, and a mediocre base 80 special defense, and then the rest of the stats aren't real great. Beedrill can hit hard. You Mega Evolve turn 1, you get that speed and the stats and whatnot. And you get the adaptability ability. So you're pretty much hitting something either really hard or it's going to kill something. That's pretty much what Mega Beedrill does. Being able to get things such as U-Turn, Defog, or sorry, not Defog, Poison Jab, X-Scissor, Drill Run, a multitude of different moves. Mega Beedrill's just really physical, really hard hitting. It can kill something very easily. Next up, sorry if you hear me taking drinks, I might get thirsty while I'm talking. Next up is Honchkrow. 125 base attack, 100 HP, 105 special attack, and the rest is pretty much, mediocre. Hard hitting physical, it has option to either a Moxie or a Super Luck ability, so it can pretty hard hitting and could be a sweeper as well. Known to getting things such as Sucker Punch, believe it's able to get Defog if you want it to. Also believe can get like a Thunder Wave, as weird as that might be. It's a hard hitter, pretty much, but it's kind of slow and has really bad defenses, so it goes down pretty easily. Next up is Granbull. Might seem like a really LOLY pick, but with a base 90 HP and a base 120 attack, if that thing like play roughs in your face, or even any one of the elemental fangs of Ice, Fire, Thunder, whatnot. It has good coverage to it, and like I said, hits hard. And with its HP, it can be fairly bulky, even though its defense is 75 and 60 might not mean much. It's a pretty slow mon as well, so pretty much just there to hit you real hard physically, and that's about it. Next up is Chatot. Now, base 92 special attack, base 91 speed, the rest mediocre. This thing can still hit pretty hard with like a Specs Boom Burst or Chatter, and Chatter being able to 100% confuse you. That can really hinder your Pokemon and whatnot. Otherwise, Chatot really isn't too great otherwise. And the next one isn't too great either with Volbeat. Now, Volbeat's mainly a physical attacker, however, it's mainly known for Prankster and being able to set up like Tail Glow and whatnot to be able to boost that special attack up. But otherwise, it's not really too great and can die pretty easily. But Prankster is still something to watch out for. And with that, we're going to move on to the next team, the Diancie United, coached by Burn, aka Burninator 9. There's a schedule real quick if you want to see it, but let's jump into the mix of things. Right off the bat, Tapu Koko, known as one of the fastest Pokemon, with a base, well, one of the fastest, yeah. Base 130 speed, base 115 attack, 95 special attack. It can hit hard from both sides of the spectrum. U-turn, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt. You got Electric Terrain to power up that Thunderbolt. You know, there's many different options for Tapu Koko to be running, especially with a Life Orb. This thing hits you hard. If you're not prepared, you're going to be in for a scoop of trouble. Next up, Hydreigon. Base 125 special attack, 105 attack, 98 speed, 90 in both of its defenses, and 92 HP. This thing can live a hit even though it may not seem like it. It can live hits, and it can hit hard hit back real hard. Blech. Running Life Orb, being able to do like Dark Pulse, Crunch, Dragon Pulse, Outrage, Fire Blast. You know, there's many different options for it. Excuse me. Many different options for it, both on physical and special attacking spectrums. Being able to take a hit with its decent stats. Otherwise, a mon to not mess around too much with. And as well as his next mon, Porygon 2. Known as one of the best users of Eviolite because of its 90 defense and 95 special defense. And with its base 105 special attack, this thing can hit you not only pretty hard, but it also can be very bulky given it can run Eviolite. Toxic, Recover, Protect, many different good options for this thing, and being able to use things such as Thunderbolt, Blizzard, Ice Beam, Tri-Attack, many different options for it. And with the, if you give it the download ability, you could get a boost in your special attack possibly. Trace being able to copy the opponent's ability to be able to possibly sit them down, like if a Flash Fire Pokemon comes in and you send your Porygon 2, you Trace Flash Fire so you can't get hit with fire moves, etc. Real good. Now, Oxy might seem like why, but this thing being able to run Stealth Rock and can be pretty tanky with Amnesia, get that Toxic on it, and with 130 in both of its defenses and 95 speed, it's a fast yet bulky Pokemon. And with 75 in both of its attack stats, it can still, you know, do a decent chunk of damage and be able to U-turn around if need be. So overall, pretty good pick there as well. Next up is Jellicent. Known for its 105 special defense, 100 speed, and a pretty decent 85 special attack, it's mainly known just to be a specially defensive wall that has a lot of HP, being able to have Scald and Recover, Toxic, and it has a couple different abilities it could run, such as Cursed Body, being able to disable and move the opponent. Most of the time you're probably going to see, though, Water Absorb, to be able to absorb any water attacks that might be coming on something, such as one of his later picks, a couple of his later picks and whatnot. The next one might seem like even more of a joke, but it's really not. Ferocity. Even though it's only got 305 EST total. Look at its defense and special defense. 91 base defense, 86 base special defense. Pair that with Eviolite, that is almost as tanky as a Porygon 2. Granted, it only has a base 44 HP, so it really doesn't have much going for it in terms of that. But even then, it's Eviolite. Pair it with that, and you get a real tanky Pokemon that's not even evolved. Really good. It has access to, you know, Stealth Rock, Curse, multitude of different things like Ferocity, and it still has a base 50 attack, which is pretty decent, but mainly known just to be there for the bulk. Next up is Mega Gallade. Base 165 attack, 95 in its defense, 115 special defense, 110 speed. Pretty fast, very hard hitting Mega that can also tank a hit or two because his defenses aren't really that bad. And being able to get a multitude of moves such as Psycho Clutch, Close Combat, Leaf Blade, Ice Punch. It's nothing to sit there and laugh about. Nothing at all. Next up is another strong pick and his Z user, Landorus Terrian. Intimidate ability, plus having 145 base attack, 105 special attack, 90 defense, 89 HP, 91 speed, and a pretty still decent special defense stat of 80. Landorus overall is a very well-rounded Pokemon, being able to hit you physically hard, can shut down a special or a physical attacker, because of Intimidate, and overall can just wreak havoc pretty much. And being able to set up Stealth Rocks, and it can even defog. Now, it can be a good option. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Next up we have Nihilego. 109 HP, 127 special attack, 131 special defense, 103 speed, and a really bad attack and defense stat. However, with Beast Boost and how fast this thing can be, and even with its nice specially defensive bulk and HP, Nihilego is a specially attacking monster. And if you let it get Beast Boost with its special attacks going, believe me, you don't want it to do that. Every Beast Boost, it gets stronger and just opens up possibilities, Power Gems, Slug Bomb, hidden powers, and whatnot. Nihilego can hit you really hard, especially defensively, if you are not prepared for it. Next up is another one that kind of may seem odd, but Moltres. Sadly, this is not his Z user, because you're only allowed one Z user. Z Sunny Day Moltres could have been a very cool option, being able to raise its speed up, and with a base 125 special attack, 100 attack, 90 speed and HP, and defense, 85 special defense, Moltres could tank, you know, maybe a hit or two, as well as being able to dish out a lot of damage with that really high special attack of 125, and if you run Sunny Day, powering up those fire moves even more, it's gonna be pretty hard-hitting Pokemon that unfortunately has its drawback of, you know, if Stealth Rock comes into play, that thing is really hindered right off the bat. Last up is Gorbis. Now, 105 defense with 114 special attack and pretty mediocre otherwise besides its 84 attack. Gorbis is mainly known as being able to set up Shell Smash and just go. Especially if you can set up some sort of rain with something on the team. Gorbis can also get that Swift Swim boost, and with Shell Smash boosting its speed as well, Gorbis can become real fast all of a sudden and just be hitting you really hard with that base 114 special attack given. It can get like Ice Beam and Scald, hidden power option. Overall, a pretty decent mon to have, even though it may not seem like the best pick on paper. Next up, the Philadelphia Tyrannotars, coached by Omega/Omega Crafter 17. And you can see a schedule over here. As you can see, I will be his week 1 opponent. So, starting right off the bat, he actually is a Z user, very first mon, Garchomp. 130 attack, 108 HP, 102 speed, and mediocre stats otherwise with 95 defense, 80 special attack and 85 special defense. Garchomp is known for being fast, a hard hitter, many different multitudes of moves being able to run, such as Iron Head, Earthquake, Dragon Claw. However, unfortunately, it lacks being able to set up besides Swords Dance. And after that, even then, its Rough Skin ability is what makes it so great, because you can run like a Rocky Helmet variant, because it's also able to get Stealth Rocks and set those up. Nothing to really laugh about. Next up is Chansey, known for the base 250 HP, 105 special defense. Give that thing an Eviolite, and especially defensive Chansey is here to ruin your day. Also being able to get stuff like Heal Bell for support, Toxic, Soft Boiled, multitude of different things, and holding Eviolite, it may take a while to take down Chansey. I know the base 5 defense may not seem like great on paper, and Eviolite may not add too much to that either, but still, Eviolite especially defensive Chansey with a lot of HP. Ribombee may not seem like the best because besides its 95 special attack and 124 speed, it doesn't really have too much otherwise, but being able to have Quiver Dance and being able to Bug Buzz, Moon Blast, Hidden Power, Ribombee is a very strong special attacker come it can get into the right situation. And other than that, it pretty much can't really tank a hit otherwise and has quite a few weaknesses with its typing. Next up is Whimsicott. Besides its 85 defense and 75 special defense, 77 special attack, it's only really known for its base 116 speed and its Prankster ability. Pranks such as like Prankster with Leech Seed and Substitute and quite a few other moves. It can be an annoying Pokemon to deal with if you aren't prepared for it. So, be prepared for it. Next up is Pangoro. While it may not have much besides its its attack of 124 and 95 HP, it gets a multitude of moves such as Ice Punch and Close Combat and other good moves for its stab and other great physical moves. It can still pack a wallop if you aren't prepared for it. Especially being able to have Scrappy or Mold Breaker ability and even Iron Fist is a lot to choose from for its abilities. And its attack set power is basically great with any one of the 3 abilities, really. Next up, Electivire. 123 attack, 95 special attack, 95 speed, and pretty decent 85 special defense. This thing given like a Choice Scarf, outspeeding a lot of things, hitting really hard on the physical side with like Wild Charge, any one of the punches, Brick Break, Cross Chop, Earthquake. Give that thing Choice Band or Choice Scarf, that thing is ruining lives. Mega Blastoise. Overall, really good. 103 attack, 120 defense, 135 special attack, 115 special defense. Very bulky, can still hit hard. Mega Launcher powering up things like the Water Pulse and other, moves that fit under that category. It's not just something to fear defensively, it can also be something to fear offensively. It can be used either way, but it's still going to tank a couple hits to take down, just because of its sheer base stats and whatnot. Weavile, known as the 120 attack, 125 speed Pokemon, pretty much there just to really hit hard and also having the priority of Ice Shard, being able to get things like Night Slash and Ice Punch, knock off Ice Shard. Being able to run it pretty much in the physical side. It hits really hard and it's there to hit hard and break through. Necrozma is up next. 97 HP, 107 attack, 101 defense, 120 special attack, 127 special attack. Necrozma has many different ways it can be run. You could throw Antagamize on it, Stealth Rocks, Swords Dance, multitude of different moves. Also could be like a Reflecting Light Screen kind of mod. Pretty much there, you don't know what it's going to run. It's almost like a Mew. You never know what's going to run, and it could be good. Magmortar, known for pretty much its good attack stats and special defense stat with 95 in attack and special defense, 125 special attack. Pretty much known just for hitting real hard, being choice specs with flamethrower, energy ball, thunderbolt, psychic. Those kind of moves on it. Able to cover a lot of different things as well as being able to hit really hard, especially offensively. Now Golbat. May not seem like it's great on paper, but its HP is pretty decent. Its attack stat of 80 is still workable, being able to get Super Fang as well. Make it hold an Eviolite with its 70 base defense and 75 base special defense, and paired up with a really fast speed of 90. You got a pretty nice fast Eviolite user that can still hit pretty hard and be able to whittle you down with Super Fang. And then if you want to see abilities, also has the option of Infiltrator, as I failed to mention, so it can be able to break through subs and whatnot. Next up, the Vehement Vagabonds, coached by Alio. Now, there's his schedule up here, but let's get started. Right off the bat, Excadrill. 110 HP, 135 attack, known for hitting you really hard, sword stance be able to set up, and if you have Sandstream going from one of his later picks, you got that Sand Rush ability, option with Mold Breaker as well, Earthquake, Iron Head, Rock Slide, 3 main moves, just hits really hard. Rotom Wash, mainly known for being defensive with 107 in both of its base defenses and 105 special attack. It's known pretty much just to be Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave options, Recover, well, no, Pain Split, excuse me, is more so the move it runs, as well as like Scald and Thunderbolt, I should say not Scald, Hydro Pump, you know, those kind of moves, and it also now has access to Defog as well, so an option to remove hazards. Shaymin, base 100 across the board, mainly known as like a special attacker, also ran like Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, Earth Power, Hidden Power, Seed Flare, a lot of different ways Shaymin can pretty much run, and it can be very, very good. Next up is Mienshao, known for basically its special attack of 95, 105 speed, and 125 attack. This thing is fast and hits hard, but can't really tank a move. However, its abilities can make it really nice with Regenerator and Reckless and Inner Focus. Not too bad of ability. Regirock, basically known as a hard-hitting physical wall. 100 attack, 200 base defense, 100 base special defense. Basically just known to tank there. Also has option to Explosion, Stealth Rock, the whole 9 yards of basically being a wall, a defensive wall. Next up is Vileplume. 110 special attack with 90 special defense, 85 defense. It's a pretty tanky Pokemon, but can also hit you pretty hard. Be able to put you to sleep with Sleep Powder. Also has access to Toxic, Poison Powder. Multitude of different things to be able to run. But it can still hit pretty hard with that Sludge Bomb, Petal Dance, those kind of moves. Mega Tyranitar the monster. Everything is pretty much great on it except for its speed being 71. 164 attack, 150 defense, even 120 special defense and 100 HP. That thing is nothing to laugh about. It is going to hit you hard, has that option for Stealth Rock, has option to Rock Polish. You can even run it like a all-out attacker really, and it can still be able to tank hits very, very well with its base defenses. Victini, another all 100 around the board, being able to both be run physically offensive, specially offensive, very fast. It can be fast, multitude of different moves like ice moves and V-Create, Fire Blast, Sidekick, Focus Blast. It's a very good and covering Pokemon. Next up, Spiritomb. 92 in both of its attack stats and 108 in both of its defenses. Pretty tanky mon, can hit hard from either side of the spectrum, and also adding like a Toxic has priority in Shadow Sneak, as well as being able to Pain Split for its recovery. Pretty decent Ghost Dart type overall, and only has one weakness in Fairy. There's also next up Miltank, 95 HP, 80 attack, 105 defense, and a surprising 100 speed. Miltank, excuse me, overall, pretty hard hitting physically, Mon. Can also tank some defensive hits and is pretty fast. Also being able to have access to Thunder Wave and I believe Stealth Rocks as well. It's a Pokemon that can take you by surprise for sure. And last up is Vaporeon, known for pretty much having a lot of HP at base 130, really good special attack stat in 110, pretty good special defense at 95, pretty much known as a Wish Toxic Protect set, with Scald being able to also run Ice Beam, being able to Baton Pass as well. Has a few different options it can run, but still known to be a pretty tanky one that can also water absorb. And Miltank, I forgot to mention, also can get access with Scrappy and Thick Fat, or surprise you with Sap Sipper. Alright, the next team, the Acat Autists, coached by a cat. Schedule is up there. We're going to get started though, to try and speed things up a little. Clefable, basically known as 95 HP, 95 special attack, 90 special defense. Basically being known as a very, very annoying mon. Being able to access unaware and having magic guard, so possibly status conditions don't even affect Clefable. Known to just basically tank hits, has that soft boiled access. Also can wish over as well, so it's pretty much there just to be that stally Pokemon. Slowbro with 110 defense, 100 special attack, pretty decent 80 special defense, 95 HP. Another pretty tanky mon. Toxic, Recover, Scald, Ice Beam, Psychic. Just a few of its options that it can run. Calm Mind as well. Pretty much there just to tank your hits physically, but can still hit pretty hard. Amoonguss, known for its pretty decent defenses, alright attacking stats, but a lot of HP. Also being able to access Leech Seed and whatnot. Pretty much there to be a little bit of a tank and a nuisance, also being able to Toxic. So, another one of those. That's the common theme with this team, if you haven't noticed. Next up is Donphan, 120 attack and defense with 90 HP. Pretty much there is a Stealth Rocker and just there to sponge up those physical hits. Also being able to set up Stealth Rock, having the option to Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards, and having Ice Shard. Can have quite a few moves that surprise you, but also be a hazard mover and a physical sponge. Next up is Ambipom, being 115 speed, 100 attack, and the rest mediocre. Still hits pretty hard because you can easily run a Fake Out Last Resort set. You have Life Orb, also being able to get things such as U-Turn and other physical moves that may surprise you. Pretty much there just to hit hard. Next up is Bastiodon, 138 special defense, 168 defense, not being able to hit you real hard with its other stats and pretty much being mediocre otherwise. It's pretty much simple. Except Stealth Rocks, Protect, Toxic, very, very bulky. Same with the next mon, Mega Sableye. Still pretty decent 85 in both of its attack stats with 125 defense and 115 special defense. Also having Magic Bounce. Pretty much there just as yet another tank. Can Will-O-Wisp you. Recover. Very bulky. And just their sponge hits also has access to be able to Calm Mind and possibly even sweep you. Zapdos is another one of those that can be kind of run overall anywhere. Special attack of 125, 100 speed, 90 in its attack, HP, and special defense with 85 defense. It can be run physically, a little physically, defensively, especially defensively, physically and specially offensive, really fast. Heat Wave, Thunderbolt, Roost, Thunder Wave, different ways you can run Zapdos, in other words. Very good mon overall. Mr. Specially Defensive Tank himself, Goodra with 150 speed, 90 HP, 100 attack, and 100 special attack. It can still hit you pretty hard. Running that Assault Vest, you aren't taking that thing down with special attacks very easily. And being able to hit hard from both ends of the attacking spectrum. Another good mon overall. Then we got Arbok, Arbok, as weird as it may seem, having option to coil and a bunch of different fang moves and gunk shot, it can hit you pretty hard physically. It's a decently fast mon and could tank a special attack or two. Otherwise, it's pretty lackluster otherwise. Quagsire is another great tank, being 95 HP, 85 in attack and defense. It's mainly there to sponge those physical hits, also getting access to Unaware, being able to ignore, stat boosts and whatnot, as well as, what was I gonna say? Sponge up those attacks because of Unaware, Water Absorb as well. Pretty good options. The abilities are down here, as you can see. But next up, we're gonna finally move on to my team, the Florida Flygon, coached by none other than me, Zeppe. My schedule, let's go over it quick. We face Omega and the Philadelphia Tyranitar first, Pivot and the Espeon second, Lux and the Volbeats third, fourth, Arc and the Arcanines, fifth, Acat and the Autists, sixth, Burn and the Diancie United, 7, the Volcaronas, coached by Flare, 8, the Radical Raichus by Angel, 9, Neo Kaiser Inferno by Iron, Vehement Vagabonds are 10th by Alio, and 11th, Yashu and the Victory Stars. Alright, first up, Mew, pretty much known as a mystery. Never know what kind of set it can run. Defog, Stealth, Nasty Plot. It can be run defensively, especially attacking, and pretty fast mon, and being able to learn anything in the game. Excuse me, you never know what Mew's gonna run. Next up is Mandibuzz. Great defensive tank with 105 defense, 110 HP, and 95 special defense, and a pretty decent speed of 80. Mandibuzz is there to basically sponge hits, Roost Up, Toxic. I can also set up Tailwind. Pretty sure there's a defog option in there. Overall, just a great tank. Next up is Darmanitan, known as pretty much just a fast, hard physical hitter. 95 speed, 140 attack, 105 HP. Nothing more, nothing less. It just hits really hard physically. Throw on a Choice Scarf, it's outspeeding a lot, and something's going to take a lot of damage no matter what. Next up is Cobalion. Pretty much all of its stats except special defense are pretty good. Being able to run it both specially and physically, a nice defensive wall, pretty fast, and has a decent HP stat. And being able to also set up Stealth Rocks is really nice as well. Frostlass. Being able to set up spikes with its 110 speed is really great. Its attack and special attack are pretty decently. Also being able to have access to Destiny Bond is really nice, and be able to hit things pretty hard. Clawitzer now, 120 special attack, and then decent defense of 88 and 89, is pretty much known to just hit you hard on the specialties, tagging spectrum, being able to get things like Water Pulse and the Mega Launcher ability, and Sludge Bomb, and Ice Beam, this, that, here, there. Just there to pretty much hit you hard, especially offensively, just like my Mega Gardevoir. 165 special attack, 135 special defense, 100 speed. Pretty fast, pretty specially defensively bulky, really hard pixelate special attacking monster with Hyper Voice and Moonblast and Sidekick and all those kind of moves. Gardevoir is something to watch out for, just like the next mon. Buzzwole. 139 defense and attack with 107 HP, mediocre otherwise. Set up Bulk Up. Beast Boost could help boost up your attack or your defense even more. Buzzwole's known for just hitting really, really hard. Xurkitree is the same way, except from the specially defensive spectrum. 173 special attack and pretty otherwise mediocre otherwise. However, Xurkitree is also my Z user. Xurkitree, I have as my Z user because I could run like Z Hypnosis, I could run a Bloom Doom, a Twinkle Tackle, Gigabolt Havoc, you never know. Just hits really hard, especially defensively. Also option to Tail Glow, it can hit you real hard. Sorry about that. We have Porygon Z next. 135 special attack with 90 speed. Pretty decently fast, but very hard-hitting Pokemon, being able to have like Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, Tri-Attack, Thunderbolt. Many different options, and it hits you hard, especially defensively. And my all-around the board, Silvally. Real quick on the rule for this. Silvally is allowed to run any drive I so desire. So pretty much, you never know what type it could be when I bring it. So, 95 stats across the board is also not bad either. I can pretty much run it any way I want to. And with multi-attack, I can even run mixed if I wanted to. Real great, you never know what to expect coming from this thing. You don't know what type to expect or anything. Pretty good overall. And here are the abilities real quick. I know... Oh, I also forgot to mention Porygon Z adaptability. I know a lot of my Pokemon do not have any other abilities. Only really like 5 do. 4 do, excuse me. Still pretty good though. I'm still happy. And Sheer Force boost from Darmanitan makes it even strong, forgot to mention. Alright, next up. The Nidoqueizer Inferno, coached by Iron. There's the schedule over there if you want to look. However, we're going to get started right away. Heatran. 106 defense, 130 special attack, 106 special defense, 90 attack, 91 HP. Pretty decently overall, being able to also set up Stealth Rocks, having Flash Fire can stop any fire type users. Very susceptible to ground moves, however. Flame Body is also a pretty nice option, and pretty bulky overall. Next up is Como. 110 attack, 125 defense, 100 special attack, 105 special defense, and pretty decent 85 speed and 75 HP. Could be run specially with like Clanging Scales and Focus Blast and whatnot, but also being able to have access to close combat now and some nice tutor moves as well. And it's got pretty good defenses, so overall Como is a really good choice as well. Mantine, 140 special defense and decent 80 special attack. Pretty much known to Sponge special hits really well. Being able to have Roost as well is really handy. Aqua Ring is another option, but Roost obviously being much better. Good special defense wall right there. Next up is Lycanroc Dusk. 117 attack and 110 speed is pretty much what it's known for, just hitting hard from the special attack spectrum. And yeah, that's pretty much what it's known for, and being able to access Excel Rock like Lycanroc Midnight cannot. Yeah. Next up is Minior. Now, it's got, at least with shields down, decent defenses of 100 each and then kind of mediocre otherwise. But then when it comes out, it switches with both of its attacks going up there and its defense is going down. Shields down also being susceptible to not having to worry about status condition and getting Shell Smash. This thing hits hard if you are not prepared for it. Straight up. Ariados getting that buff in Gen 7, actually getting its attack stat buffed up to 90. Shadow Sneak and Poison Jab and X-Scissor, pretty much great options for it to be able to hit hard from the physical spectrum. Otherwise, it's kind of mediocre to bad to the rest of its stats. Mega Venusaur with thick fat ability, 123 defense, 120 special defense. Really great tank, but also can attack you physically with like Earthquake, Petal Blizzard with its base 100 attack and 122 special attack, being able to take advantage of like Sludge Bomb and whatnot. Mega Venusaur could be a Swords Dance setup, special attacker all the way, defensive, whatever you want it to be with Leech Seed. This thing is there to mess with you a lot. Mimikyu with its 105 special defense and 90 attack, 96 speed, pretty fast, can take a special attack or two, and its 90 attack paired up with Swords Dance, priority Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, Play Rough. This is also a Z user, so we could see Let Snow Go Forever, as well as none other than its Disguise ability, being able to, unless Mold Breaker, tank a hit no matter what. Hoopa Unbound is also nothing to mess with. 160 attack, 170 special attack, 130 special defense, 80 in its speed, but very mediocre defense of 60. This thing is just a monster and hits extremely hard. And it can tank a special attack or two as well with its great base special defense there. Garbodor is also not something to really mess around with either, with the base 95 attack and gunk shot and other options. With 82 in its defense, 75 speed, and it can run weak armor ability. Really not that bad of a mon to be able to set up with, and it can also run Aftermath, so it can possibly deal up to 25% damage if it is to die in battle as well. Shuckle, nothing else known except for it's a very, very, very defensive wall, toxic and infestation options and whatnot, and being able to run rest as well. Shuckle's there to pretty much just be the tank and mess around a lot. Alright, I know it's been long and it's getting down to it, but we got 3 more teams left. Next up is Volcaronis from Vegas, coached by Flair. Schedule is off to the right there. However, we need to get going on those Pokemon. Right off, Volcarona, basically known as Quiver Dance and Sweep. 135 special attack, 105 special defense, 100 speed. They can tank a special attack or two, sets up that Quiver Dance, and you're in big trouble. Gliscor, being able to have Defog and Stealth Rocks as well as Toxic. Poison Heal can straight up counter anybody who tries to poison it. And being able to also hit hard with 95 attacks, base attack stat. Really nice. It's also defensive with 125 base defense and pretty fast with 95 speed. Primarina, 126 special attack and 116 special defense. Pretty much known to hit hard on the special spectrum. Can also tank special attacks. Can run Assault Vest, so special attacks will do even less to it besides it already being specially defensive and whatnot. Next up, Klefki, pretty much known as one of the best prankster abusers ever. 91 defense, 87 special defense, 80 in both of its attack stats, 75 speed. It's mediocre stats overall, but it can still set up those spikes and taunt and torment you at its very will with prankster. Really great abuser of that ability. Noivern, pretty much known as a very fast special attacking hitter. 97 special attack, 123 speed, choice specs options, and being able to even run like a Life Orb with Roost and a plethora of moves to be able to abuse with it as well. Really hard hitter. Cryogonal, 95 special attack, 135 special defense, 105 speed. Can take a lot of special hits. Pretty fast. Has access to Rapid Spin, so it can actually get rid of hazards. And it can still hit you pretty hard with 95 base special defense. That's nothing to laugh, or attack, excuse me, nothing to laugh at. Another great Pokemon that can hit you real hard, Mega Scizor, being able to have access to Technician, as well as 150 attack, 140 defense, 100 special defense. Pretty good tank. Technician, a very good Technician abuser with Bullet Punch and Bug Bite and whatnot. Sword Stance option as well. If you don't burn that thing, yeah, that's a wall breaker. 95 in base in both of its defenses, 113 speed, and access to Contrary Leaf Storm. Serperior is also another Pokemon I'm not really mess around with either. Being able to run options like a Hidden Power, Leaf Storm, and Contrary, it makes it pretty viable as much as you may not think it does. Furfrou is a fast, especially defensive wall, but also his fur coat to be able to help its defense a lot too. It's a lot more bulky than you may take it credit for, and the base 80 attack is nothing to laugh at either and can hit you pretty hard as well. Second last, we have Feraligatr, a Dragon Dancer that also has a nice, great 100 defense with 105 attack. Pretty decent speed of 78, 79 special attack, 83 special defense, and 85 HP. Pretty decent overall. Dragon Dance Sheer Force with like Waterfall and Ice Punch and whatnot. Feraligatr can come at you and come at you hard. Ditto, pretty much known as I can copy anything on your team and make it even better with Choice Scarf. Being able to scout out move sets right away with Imposter. Diddle, you never know what might be coming. Now we're moving on to the second last team, the Victory Stars and Coach Yashu. Right off the bat, and if I forgot to mention Z users, for the Nidokaiser Inferno, it is Mimikyu. And the Z user for the Wilkins from Vegas is Superior. Victory Stars, Coach Yashu again. Here we are. Starting right off the bat, it is Zygarde 50%, also his Z Crystal user. 108 HP, 100 attack, 121 defense, 95 special defense, 95 speed, Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, Earth, 1,000 arrows, excuse me. One of the best mons there is to Draft League format. 1,000 arrows being able to hit levitating and flying Pokemon is amazing. It just hits anything that's not defensive and just wreaks havoc. Next up is Toxapex, 152 defense, 142 special defense, pretty much known to just sit there and tank hits all day long, and being able to Baneful Bunker can possibly set poison on something. Rotom Heat, another one of the defensive Rotoms, 107 both of its defenses and 105 special attack, known to be able to tank a hit or two defensively and especially defensively, and be able to hit you hard back with Thunderbolt and Overheat, as well as having options of Will-O-Wisp and Thunder Wave. Smeargle, another one of the mystery options, as it can pretty much learn anything in the game, can tail go Sticky Web, this, that. Name it all, Smeargle can do it, spore up, and do whatever you want from there. Talonflame, a very nerfed Pokemon, 81 attack with 126 speed, nothing to laugh at. Sadly, its Gale Wing's ability got nerfed where it only works at full health now. It really loses pretty much all value after it's not full HP anymore, and if you set up Stealth Rocks, it ruins it pretty hard. Also forgot to mention Zygarde 50, we are not allowing Power Construct for obvious reasons, and Toxapex also having Regenerator, as well can help that. Ninjask, pretty much known as Speed Boost Passer, Sword Stance, Possible Passer, Focus Sash, also as Infiltrator, with its 90 attack and 160 base speed. Can hit you hard physically, but can also be a very great setup mon for the rest of his team. Mega Lopunny, 136 attack, 94 defense, 96 special defense, 135 speed. Can tank a hit or two from you, real fast, real hard, last resort, and return user. And also having other options, it is nothing to laugh about at all. Celesteela is the next pick. 101 attack, 103 defense, 107 special attack, 101 special defense, 97 HP, speed being mediocre. This thing is mostly known as being defensive, having option to be able to be a sweeper with like Autotomize, and also having access, surprisingly enough, to Leech Seed. This thing is known to sit there and wall you, but can also hit you really, really hard with like Air Slash, Flash Cannon, as I said, Heavy Slam, nothing to underestimate. And his Pokemon, next Pokemon, Gardevoir, is also nothing to underestimate as well. Base 125 special attack and 115 special defense. Could take a special defense hit or two, be able to also Calm Mind up, but also being able to hit you real hard special attacking wise. We have Gourgeist next, which it attacks to have 100, defense 122, Will-O-Wisp option, could Trick or Treat, Shadow Sneak you. Cool options with it, as well as just being able to, whatchamacallit, being able to tank defensive hits really, really well. And like I said, Will-O-Wisp option as well, to be able to slow them down. And last is Alolan Persian. Being able to have access to Technician, not really great stats besides its 115 speed. Could still hit you pretty hard special attacking, also known for Z Parting Shot as well. Alolan Persian can be more of a nuisance, but it's really kind of just that, a nuisance, but can still hit pretty hard, especially offensively wise. And last but not least, the Radical Raichu's coached by Angel. schedules over here. Let's quick get this out. So, Scizor, the first pick. 130 attack, 100 defense, Technician, Sword Stance, Choice Band, Technician. If I didn't mention Technician, Technician just makes Scizor really great. And with like Bullet Punch and Bug Bite, great options to run on it. U-turn as well. Lots of things can help Scizor be great. And its defense being 100, it's a great physical Pokemon as well. However, the next pick for this is the opposite. Very specially defensive with 154 base special defense. Still being able to hit hard with 112 base special attack. This thing can just sit there, tanking and sponging up those special hits and being able to deal damage back. Nothing to laugh at. Gastrodon. 92 special attack, 111 HP, 83 attack, and some mediocre defensive. Gastrodon can still hit you pretty hard, but being able to also Toxic, Recover, and also has option, I believe, to Stealth Rock. A pretty decent defensive Pokemon there, and it can also access Storm Drain to be able to make water attacks useless, which can help his Chandelure, his next Pokemon. 90 in both of its defenses and 145 special attack. Hard hitting, can also, I believe, run Trick, and being able to hit you very hard, especially offensively, is a very good wall breaker, and being able to tank possibly a hit or two as well is nothing to laugh at either. Next up is Rhyperior. 140 attack, 115 HP, 130 defense. Pretty much known as a very hard hitter, but can also be defensively bulky and a great HP to complement that. Otherwise, the rest of its stats are very, very bad. Raichu up next. 90 in its attacking stats, 100 speed, and 80 special defense. Mostly known as a special attacker and being able to run Nasty Plot and have a Focus Sash. Pretty much there to just hit you and hit you hard and be, kind of fast and have access to Thunder. Next up is Mega Pidgeot. Special attack of 135, 121 speed. It can be a great specially defense or especially offensive Mega, and being able to access stuff like Heat Wave and Hurricane with its no guard ability just makes it so much better. Hitmonchan, 105 attack with 110 base special defense. Hitmonchan can actually tank a special hit or two and be able to dispatch some good damage with abilities such as Iron Fist, not being able to flinch with like Inner Focus, all the elemental punches, close combat. That's nothing to laugh at. Neither is Bruxish. 105 attack, 92 speed, really fast, has access to things like Waterfall, Psychic Fangs, and some other moves that pretty much just makes it really, really freaking good. Next up was Cephalon. 127 attack, 151 special attack, and 107 speed. Excellent wall breaker. Mind Blown is a really powerful move on it, even though it takes half HP. This thing, if you don't prepare for it, is going to be a very hard wall breaker. And last but not least, Tapu Bulu. Mostly known for its pretty decent defensive bulk of 115 defense, a hard hitter, and 130 attack base, 95 base special defense, pretty good tank overall, as well as being able to hit really hard and having Leech Seed and Grassy Surge. It's a really nice pick overall as well. And that will finally do it for this draft breakdown and the schedules of everybody, my schedule, etc., etc. I know I've been going on really, really long at this point, so I'm going to end it here. If you guys stuck through, thank you very, very much for watching, and in the next part, we are going to have the Week 1 Team Builder, which will be against none other than Omega and the Philadelphia Tyranitar. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.